All right. Last week, Republicans in Congress jammed through Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill. And then on Friday, Trump signed it into law. So let's talk about what's in it and, most importantly, where we go from here. When I say Republicans jammed this thing through, I mean they released nearly 1,000-page text at midnight and then held the vote 24 hours later, and we're still making changes on the bill while we were voting. And you just won't believe how bad this bill is. Look, it'll kick 17 million Americans off their health insurance by making the biggest cuts to Medicaid in our nation's history and by gutting parts of the Affordable Care Act. It'll rip food assistance away from people so that while costs are already out of control, people are going to start paying more for groceries. And just to rub salt into the wound, this bill takes that healthcare and grocery money and hands it over to a bunch of billionaires and giant corporations in the form of tax handouts. Yeah, you heard that right. Government handouts for billionaires. That's the Republican vision for America. The top 0.1% gets an extra $400,000 a year to buy another yacht, while your kid opens the fridge and finds there's nothing there to eat. And over the 4th of July, Donald Trump and the billionaires who paid millions of dollars to sit in the front row of his inauguration probably pop bottles of champagne that cost more than your rent, celebrating that they just ripped healthcare away from that many people. I think you can hear my voice. I am angry. I am angry, and I am not going to give up. So, where do we go from here? First, we need to hold these Republicans accountable. When kids go hungry, when rural hospitals shut down, when families have their health care ripped away from them, we need to make sure that every single American knows who is to blame: the Republicans. And second, we can't give up on fighting back. Right now, they're hoping we'll give up. Just curl into a little ball and let those guys do whatever they want. We won't do that. We cannot do that. For every single kid who relies on a home health aide, for every family that needs a little extra help putting food on the table, for every senior in a nursing home, we stay in this fight. Now more than ever. We need to link elbows. We need to stand together. We need to fight for a country where kids don't go hungry, where parents can afford their cancer treatment, and where everyone, no matter what zip code they were born in, everyone has a chance to succeed. I know the fight ahead will be long, and Donald Trump will continue to try to divide us and demoralize us. Doesn't matter. Nevertheless, we persist.